Hi, my name is Michelle Liddell, and my topic presentation is on the child labor in Pakistan. It is estimated that more than 12.5 million children are involved in child labor in Pakistan. In fact, more than one-fourth of the country's workforce is made up of child laborers, and they can be found in virtually every factory, every workshop, and every field. This remains one of Pakistan's biggest problems. Child labor refers to the employment of children in any kind of work that deprives children of their childhood, interferes with their ability to attend regular school, and that is mentally, physically, socially, or morally dangerous and harmful. Child labor involves children being enslaved, separated from their families, exposed to serious hazards and illnesses, and left to fend for themselves on the large streets of cities, often at a very early age. There are children that are anywhere from ages 4 to 16 that are involved in child labor, and the average entrance is about 7 years old. Though it's been said that in field laborers, you can find children as young as 3. One of the worst kinds of child labor is domestic labor, mainly because it is hidden away and not regulated by government. Majority of the working children work as domestic laborers. In fact, it is said that about a quarter of the homes in Pakistan use children, and 62% of them are girls. Now, while this may not seem unusual from what we do in our country and having our children work and do chores, these children are often open to being beaten and treated abusively, both sexually and physically. And they're forced to work long hours. There's also possibilities of work when they're working in the tanneries or really in any occupation that they are tortured and treated unkindly and unfair. Many of them are abused when they work, suffering beatings or torture. Many children are sent to live with middle class and elite families to perform these jobs. Working and living conditions are extremely poor, and some of them are even forced to living where they work. Children are exhausted and overworked from working long and hard hours. Due to Pakistan's poor economy, industries continue to depend on children to produce goods, which has been going on for centuries. The number one reason for child labor is poverty. And this is to be seen in all parts of Pakistan. It is said that 38.8% of the people in Pakistan live in poverty, and a quarter of those living in acute poverty. The average pay is about a third less, and students from impoverished backgrounds who are unable to enter school are the most likely to become affected. Poverty levels in Pakistan appear to necessitate that children work in order to allow families to reach their target take-home income, which they need to buy their butter and bread. It can also be seen that poorly or uneducated parents are another cause for child labor. Educated parents are aware of the need of their child to be educated, while illiterate people consider it a waste of time and money. The more the parent is educated, the less the prevalence of child labor. People working white-collar jobs are less likely to send their children to work than those of blue-collar. Thus, the supply of child labor will be lower when the father's income is stable. The pattern continues and goes around and around. It's important to value the education and to educate the parents who can then educate the children. The child labor pool is all but inexhaustible, owing in part to the birth rate that is among the world's highest, and to an education system that can accommodate only about a third of the country's school-age children. Often the children enter the workplace competing with their parents. Brickmaking is one of the ways that many of the children participate in child labor. And usually we see that child labor is a huge problem. So what can be done to help? There are some laws that are put in place by the government, but many of them are ignored. For instance, the Children's Support Program gives parents money so that they can send their children to school instead of encouraging them to join the workforce. This program is available to the parents of ages 5 to 16, and so far they've distributed $3 million. On January 26, 2017, the province of Sindh made child labor illegal, banning children under the age of 14 from working. The law also prohibits adolescents from working between the hours of 7 and 8, 7 at night to 8 a.m. And for those who are working, they cannot work more than 3 hours a day. As Sindh is known as the most impoverished province in Pakistan, it is hoped that other parts of the country will take that example and go. Other parts of Pakistan have passed the Free Compulsory Primary and Secondary Education Act, which makes education free and compulsory for children aged 5 to 16. Through these continued laws and goals of Pakistan, it is hoped that the child labor problem in Pakistan will decrease and that children will be able to continue to be educated and to learn skills that will help them to be successful.